Author Samuel introduced AI back in 1952, yet most of you in Genius Network got excited about this amazing technology on November 30th, 2022. That's when ChatGPT was released to the public. Now, if you're not using it for your business or just playing around with it, you will be left behind. Most likely, you know that it can save you a tremendous amount of time, create amazing copy, assist you with your emails, marketing approaches, video scripts, and so much more. As part of Genius Network, you need to be way ahead of the ordinary entrepreneur. That's why I've asked Stephan Spencer to share with you his amazing insights and ideas on how you can use AI in your marketing and to generate more traffic and qualified leads. Stephan has helped search engine optimization websites for some of the biggest brands in the world, including Chanel, Volvo, Sony, and Zappos. He's a best-selling author with 3 books. The latest is The Art of SEO 4th edition. I should have a copy of that somewhere because you literally can lift weights with this thing. It's big. And he's the founder of SEO agency Net Concepts. Plus, he hosts 2 podcasts, Get Yourself Optimized and Marketing Speak. Stephan's title is Leveraging AI for Traffic and Leads. Please help me welcome Stephan Spencer. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. How many of you use ChatGPT or have at least used it once? Look at this. This is an outstanding room. Outstanding. So, if you could exponentially increase your skills in 10 minutes, would that appeal to you? Your ChatGPT skills? Okay, let's dig in. So we're going to, first of all, learn how to improve our prompts with a top and a tail. Then we're going to learn how to use something even better called a super prompt. Then we're going to learn how to upload our very best content to the AI so that paired with the super prompt or just a top and tail prompt is going to give you such a better output. Then we're going to learn how to work with other free AIs, not just ChatGPT, such as Claude and Google Bard. And then we're going to learn how to remix our content from one format, one content piece, into many. Here's the problem. It's called garbage in equals garbage out. This is a programmer analogy, and if your prompt is garbage, such as this one, create an SEO content plan for healthy lifestyle keywords, you'll get an output, but it won't be good. For example, it'll tell you something like, look at what content is already ranking for your chosen keywords. That's absolutely useless. So we top and tail. This is tip number 1. We top and tail. Credit to Peter Swain for this terminology and idea. So top the prompt with something like, act as expert copywriter Gary Halbert. Tail that prompt. So after your normal prompt, at the very end, oh, by the way, this target audience I'm targeting is financial advisors. That makes a world of difference. But even better, let's throw the kitchen sink at ChatGPT and have it be prompted with what's called a super prompt. A super prompt, for example, that makes content plans for SEO with the titles and the keywords being targeted and the description of the article, something like that. You might look at 250 words of prompting. Now, the good thing about this is you don't have to actually come up with those 250 words. You don't have to do anything other than copy and paste, because in this case, Annie York has already figured out the super prompt. So as an example, ChatGPT, please ignore all previous prompts, create a markdown table, don't explain what you're doing, don't self-reference. All of that is baked into the super prompt. Here's a super prompt from Brian Romley that actually makes more super prompts for you, customized. So you copy and paste this one into ChatGPT, and it will prompt you, ask you some questions, you answer those questions, and then it will output a super prompt for you for whatever you need. You can get plenty more super prompts from readmultiplex.com. That's Brian Romley's website. Brian Romley is a famous AI researcher. By the way, I highly recommend that you, first of all, sign up for readmultiplex.com, $99 a year. But secondly, listen to Jordan Peterson interviewing Brian, 2 hours of absolute brilliance. And then AI PRM is a Chrome extension for GPT. This will give you thousands of prompts to choose from. And they all have ratings and comments and view counts and everything. So you go to aiprm.com and just download it. This is what the interface looks like. Next tip, tip number 3, is to feed your AI your very best stuff. What do I mean by that? Well, if you're Joe Polish, how about a transcript of that Piranha marketing training that was the top seller with Nightingale Conant? Or if you're Mary Morrissey, your signature speech TEDx talk. Or if you're Dave Asprey, that cover story in Men's Health magazine. Or a mock-up of a website that you haven't even launched yet. You just save as a PDF or a JPEG and upload that to chatgpt. Do you know you could do that? You could upload a piece of content and then have it use that as a basis. It's amazing. So you could upload that mock-up and say, give me all your best advice around, let's say, conversion and SEO for this mock-up. You could upload an ebook like Dre's Recession Survival Guide. You could upload a manifesto like R. John Robbins has his manifesto on how to manage a small law firm.com. A manifesto, by the way, is what you stand for, your philosophy, your brand, your position on things. With that upload, you give ChatGPT a prompt such as, write a voice and tone guide based on your understanding of my brand from this document, from the manifesto, from the ebook. But here's the thing, you don't just always go to ChatGPT, because sometimes you'll get a much better outcome and output from a different AI. So there's Llama from Meta, there's Bard from Google, there's Claude from Anthropic. And in this case, where I use that same exact prompt, write a voice and tone guide based on the manifesto, feeding that to ChatGPT gave garbage. It was useless. But I fed that to Claude, Claude.ai. Who's ever used Claude? Okay, every hand should go up. This is a free tool. If you're overseas and you can't sign up, just use a NordVPN or ExpressVPN account to VPN, virtual private network, into the US and then sign up. So Claude.ai, you should all be on this. I fed the exact same prompt, gave it the exact same upload of the manifesto, and it was awesome. It was amazing. So then let's keep going with Claude. Claude, please provide a social media strategy based on what you understand about my brand from the manifesto. Again, it knocked it out of the park. And now my 5th and final tip is to remix your content from one piece of content into many pieces that would normally take you many hours, countless hours to produce in just minutes. For example, has anyone here been on a podcast before or have their own podcast? Anyone? Perfect. So you take that podcast episode and you turn it into article content, long form article content. You turn it into, let's say, multiple versions in foreign languages. So you dub that English version into French and German and Spanish and so forth. You create entire online courses with that podcast. This is all available to you today. Here's an example. Every single one of these podcast episodes, this is one of my podcasts called Get Yourself Optimized. Check this out. It just scrolls on and on and on. It is a long form article, not just a transcript of text like, vomited out. Nobody wants to read a bare transcript. That can be done with AI. How about dubbing? You use rask.ai, and within a couple of minutes, you can turn something like this.
Recently, maybe a year ago, learned of a term called an IBR.
And you turn it into what?
L'existence d'un terme.
Parlez-vous français, anyone? Turn it into a course even? Yes, that's possible. 3-module video-based online course with things like activities, quizzes, learning, questions. Everything is possible, and it's done pretty simply. We start with a prompt. I'm using Claude for this. Create a lesson plan for an online course based on the podcast episode, the PDF I just uploaded. Boom. Claude is, again, hitting it out of the park. Create a 5-question multiple choice quiz now based on that podcast episode. Okay, again, Claude is just crushing it, along with the answer key. Now I want you to write me a video script for Module 1, the module that was described in the beginning part of the chat. So it already gave me the whole outline. Remember, I prompted it for that. Now I just want it to fill in the gaps with all the different video scripts, all the quizzes, all the worksheets, and it just goes to town on all of it. Look at that. It's amazing. And this is all possible for you. So here's what you can do. 1, you can top and tail your prompts. That's just basic. Everyone can do that immediately, starting today. Number 2, you can use super prompts. Number 3, feed that AI your very best content that epitomizes your brand, your ethos, your values, who you are, what you stand for. And number 4, work with other AIs, not just ChatGPT. And finally, remix your content. Turn one format, one piece into many. And the result, you will have an amazing website that garners more traffic and even more leads. Thank you very much.
Yeah, come on up, Joe. It's almost like you're just waiting for him to, yeah.
Oh boy, am I waiting for this one. Isn't it wonderful that we had a transformation picture of his body, his hair, his marital status, him being a dad, and now such a clear message. If you've been around Genius Network for a while and have heard this guy speak, normally what happens is people say, what did he say? Because you know so much. You have such brilliance up here in a world that most of us don't live in. And that all changed in front of you in 9 minutes and 58 seconds. How's that for being prepared and organized? This was a how-to educational session, 5 things that you've got to do, a skill. And look how clear it was. Most of us don't know any of the things you know, but you related everything to us. The ideas were numbered so you could follow them. But if you're taking notes, how many times have you been in a meeting and you're taking notes? What point is he up to? Is this number 5, number 4? They don't say it. You had that on the slides. The slides were so clear, a single point made a difference. And we discussed this. No acronyms, you did that perfectly. And then he defined manifesto. I mean, how many of you have a manifesto? But when he defined, well, I got one of those. So defining the terms is so important for you. And then what about the power of this idea? What about that remixing? How many were excited to see that you could take a podcast and make a course? Let me see your hand. How many? I mean, that's amazing. And he's given us all the tools to do this. I got to stop talking. We got to get on AI and get moving with this thing. Great job.
Thank you.
Awesome. And is there what do you recommend that people read or do as a follow-up, either your own stuff or anything else like what do you consume right now in terms of what helps you other than literally using it, which is probably the best way?
That is actually the best way.
Yeah.
If you can carve out, let's say, 10 minutes a day, like this is your little workout routine. Get on there and try different things. See if you can top and tail your prompts. See if you can find a super prompt that will create something that you never thought you could create with an AI.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
appreciate it.